Hey friends, Jim Rhodes here with the Octane Group. I guess we'll have to call this my Florida series. I'm just out enjoying a little nature in the Florida Panhandle, and man, am I enjoying the peace and quiet. And just I'm taking the opportunity to just roll some video on some topics specific to buy here, pay here, and hope that you will find some of this information of value. I wanted to talk today just about some kind of pillars of our training when it comes to the subject of collections. You know, collections is a big subject, and when I train on collections, I often tell the managers and the dealers that I work with that, you know, we can't teach you in collections all of the scenarios that you're going to come up with. I mean, you're going to be faced with all kinds of different situations from customers, and rather than prepare you or try to prepare you for every one of those scenarios, we choose to focus on some foundational pieces and teach some philosophical things to understand about how to approach customers. And so some of those pillars become things like accountability. You know, we have to be able to take a customer who hasn't shown financial responsibility in the past, and in order for us to expect to have success with that customer, we have to be able to hold them accountable. And there are several things about that, you know, obviously in the subject of accountability. A big part of that is persistence. But before that is really about being able to structure a deal that makes sense for the customer. That's a good fit for you as the dealer and is a good fit for the customer. Because if we structure a deal that is too burdensome for the customer, let's say we squeeze them too hard on down payment, we want a bigger down payment, so we over squeeze them on the down payment at the time of delivery, and now right out of the gate they're having trouble meeting rent and they fall behind, and we just set up a difficult situation for them right on out of the gate. Well, that kind of falls in the shame on us category for me. Same thing with car payments. When we set the customer's payment, you know, if their income is such that they really can't manage a 450 payment, but we have to set it at 450 because we're trying to keep to 36 months or whatever, again, shame on us. We put the customer in a situation when they're going to fail, and I would say that we contributed to that. So we got to be smarter than that. We got to be better than that and buy here, pay here. And we got to make sure that the deal fits for the customer. So I always ask dealers to negotiate based on down payment that's manageable. Obviously, we want as much as possible to cut risk, but we're going to get as much down payment as possible. We're going to set the payments in a way that are comfortable for the customer and still come out with a reasonable term relative to the life expectancy of the vehicle that we're financing. So I ask clients to roll the term because that all ties to collections for me. When we set the down payment in a way that's workable for the customer, and we start them off on payments that they can really manage, and we agree with the customer this is, you know, going to fit your budget, then now we can hold the customer more accountable to that understanding in a way that was agreed that it's a good fit. So now we can step in with the customer and hold them to that understanding. And, you know, my clients hear me use the terminology that Friday means Friday. If we agreed that your payments are going to be due biweekly on Friday, then that's when we expect your payments to come. And that is the understanding, Mr. Customer, unless we reach a different understanding or we replace it with a new understanding. So Friday means Friday. That's still our understanding unless we decide to do something different. So this is where, you know, accountability just becomes a big cornerstone of what we teach, and we have to be able to have difficult conversations with customers, and that means that when they, you know, they may make several payments in a row on Friday as expected, but then the first time they come rolling in on Monday or they call us on Monday, you know, and act like it's no big deal, we have to make sure our collectors are trained to hold the customer accountable to have that difficult conversation and say, why didn't we hear from you on Friday? That is our understanding. That's when you're expected to pay. And so, you know, let's make sure that we kind of just return to that understanding and make sure the customer knows the terms haven't changed. That's when we expect your payment. And so, you know, we'll ask them what was the circumstances, but we have to make them understand, no, it's not okay that you're paying on Monday. We have to hold them accountable to that agreement because we just know in buy here, pay here, when we give the customers an inch, we know what the outcome is going to be. They're going to take that mile, right? So we just have to make sure we stick to that agreement. And so again, This sounds really simple on the surface, right? We all should understand this. Yet I find that so many managers out there and collection supervisors, collectors, don't have a conversation at all with the customer when they call in on that Monday. So, we're just setting ourselves up to say, we closed the loan in a way that said that we expect your payments on Friday. We expect to hear from you when you can't make your payment on Friday. Now the customer goes along expecting that you really meant what you said. Now they call in on Monday and there's no conversation. It's no big deal. What does that tell the customer? Oh, it really wasn't as big a deal as they wanted me to believe at the time of delivery. If Monday's okay, I'm sure in the future Tuesday will be okay. Well, again, shame on us. We're creating that situation. We're not holding the customer accountable to that standard, and we should expect that it's going to get more and more difficult to collect on that account. So in this way, we create our own work. And that always frustrates me when I see that. It used to frustrate me in my own dealership, and it frustrates me when I see it with other clients where certainly buy here, pay here can be difficult work. Most of our jobs are, right? But it frustrates me when I see us creating our own work because that's just something that we should be able to avoid. So I think, again, this is just an area where accountability, having difficult conversations, holding the customer to the agreement that we reached at the time of delivery that's just going to be our understanding unless we, replace it with a new understanding. So accountability sounds simple, but I sure see a lot of dealerships that aren't doing it well, and as a result, delinquency spikes, and we know that, delinquency grows, customer becomes more and more delinquent. Next thing we know, we're dealing with a charge-off. So, yes, accountability sounds simple, but we have to be able to do it, hold the customer accountable to that agreement, or they're just going to slip into a deeper hole and have a hard time catching up. So again, this is one of the pillars that we teach in collections, and so it's about teaching people to have difficult conversations. And we think that when you do that, customers are going to pay as expected most of the time. And when they have a setback, they're going to call us, and we're going to work with them in the way that we always do. So, stay tuned for a future episode where we talk more about flexibility and how flexible can we be in buy here, pay here and still make it work. So, if you're enjoying this content, again, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be sharing more and more of this kind of material. And also keep up with us on the Buy Here, Pay Here tour for 2021. My wife, Michelle, and I are going to be out touring the country in our travel trailer. And we look forward to calling on you in the Buy Here, Pay Here business. If you'd like for us to come see you, just reach out and let us know. And when we're in your area, we'd be happy to stop and just talk shop about Buy Here, Pay Here. That's what 2021 is all about for us at the Octane Group. So again, subscribe to the channel, tune in, and we're glad you tuned in today. Thanks. Bye.